Hello, today in class we're going to learn how to find valence electrons. And how you find valence electrons is by looking at the outermost ring, whatever electrons are furthest away from the nucleus. I have up here on the board broken down the first four elements on the periodic table. We have hydrogen, helium, lithium, and beryllium. Hydrogen. To find the valence electrons, not only could you look and see what group it is in, group 1, you also can count the number of electrons furthest away from the nucleus. Since hydrogen only has one electron, we know hydrogen has one valence electron. Okay, now let's try helium. Helium has an atomic number of 2 and an atomic mass of 4. When I look at helium, I try to count, to find the valence electrons, I count the number of electrons that are furthest away from the nucleus, or the ones that are on the outermost ring, or energy level. And I count it and I see that it only has 2, and they're located on the first energy level. So I know helium has 2 valence electrons. Take a special note that helium's energy level is full. Its valence electrons are full. 2. That's its most. This energy level, the first energy level, can only hold 2 electrons, and those 2 just happen to be the valence electrons. Now let's move on. We have now done hydrogen, all the way over, helium. Now let's go back to atomic number 3, lithium. Lithium is right here. If you notice, I have already rounded the mass. The atomic number is 3. The symbol is Li. The mass is 7. I have 3 protons. I know to find the neutrons. 7 minus 3 is 4. Now let's find the valence electrons. I know that out of the 3 electrons that I have, only 2 of them can go on the first energy level. I am left with 1 left over. I must put that on the second energy level. This energy level can hold a maximum of 8 electrons. However, when determining valence, if you remember, you only look at the outermost ring. You do not count the innermost rings. The outermost rings. So, if you could guess it with me, lithium has 1 valence electron. Now note, hydrogen and lithium are both in group 1 and they have 1 valence electron. 1 valence electron. Okay. Let's move on to beryllium. Beryllium has an atomic number of 4, an atomic mass of 9. That tells me I have 4 protons. I know I subtract the mass from the atomic number to give me 5 neutrons. I know that the atomic number is the protons and the electrons. So I have 4 electrons. Now let's determine how many valence electrons I have. I know this first energy level can hold 2 electrons. The second energy level can hold up to 8. Since we only have 2 left over, I know that it can be on this second energy level. Now let's determine how many valence electrons does beryllium have. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make it real simple. what are the electrons, how many electrons are on the outermost ring. So when I count that, I see it only has 2 rings, so I go to the second ring and I count the electrons. 1, 2. Okay, beryllium, 2 valence electrons. Alright. And that's how you find valence electrons for any atom. You break it down and then you draw the atomic structure and count the electrons that are on the outermost energy level. Now I'm going to do an example of argon, the hardest element you in 8th grade will have to do. It's not the hardest, it just has the most protons and electrons. It also has the most valence electrons because of the group it is in and because its outermost energy level is full. Argon, if you remember from our last session, is in group 18, and it looks like this. Argon, 18 is the atomic number, with a rounded mass of 40. The symbol is AR. So when I draw this, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to label my energy levels. I know the first energy level can only have 2 electrons. The second energy level can only have 8. And the third energy level can only have 8. Now we are ready to draw our diagram. I know the atomic number tells me how many protons. So I know I have 18 protons. Now I know the mass number minus the atomic number will tell me my neutrons. That's the symbol for neutrons. And 40 minus 18 is 22 neutrons. Okay? 22. I also know that the atomic number is the protons and the electrons. So let's break them down. I start off with 18. How many could fit in the first energy level? 2. How many could fit in the second energy level? I had 16 left. All 16 cannot fit right there. Therefore, I must put only 8 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That leaves me with the second energy level having used 8 electrons. I still have 8. Since the third energy level can hold 8 electrons, I may put all 8 there. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, how many valence electrons does this have? It's still very simple. Count the electrons that are on the outermost energy level, the last ring. And that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Argon has 8 valence electrons. Note, argon is in group 18.